Good morning, dear students. Once again, I welcome you to this video lessons presentation session. Today, we will a lesson from business statistics subject of become second year in third semester. The topic of today's discussion is questionnaires for data collection. Based on the characteristics, types of design, elements, importancy, and other associated important aspects of the questionnaire, the today's class has planned as under. Just look at the slide where I prepared a lesson plan. So for this lesson, we will discuss data collection components, source of data, methods of collecting primary data, questionnaires, their design, important features, purpose and circumstances of the questionnaire, what cares to be taken while preparing questionnaire, and important elements of the questionnaire, and methods of administering them, and other important types of the questionnaires. See, in our previous lessons, in our previous presentations, we have discussed there are three important components in data collection. Those are investigator, respondents, and enumerators. As we know very well, investigator is the principal researcher, the prime person who has undertaken the project or who has taken the task of preparing a report, or a principal researcher who is performing a job as a research scholar. Then the another component is respondents, from whom investigator has to collect the data is called respondents. So the respondents are the second persons here involved in data collection process, from whom investigator will collect the data. The third component is enumerators. Enumerators are the representatives of investigator. Where and when it is difficulty and tedious, time-consuming process to the investigator to collect the data himself from every source, then he may take a lot a few people to collect the data from the respondents on behalf of him. Such people are called as enumerators. Then also we discussed yesterday, that is sources of data. The availability of the data can be made from the internal sources and external sources. Sources further categorized into two: government departments, business organizations, and business houses. Whereas the external sources further categorized into primary sources and secondary sources. Then the primary sources, from how or from with what help we collect the data, how primary data can be collected, what are the different methods used to collect the primary data. Yesterday we discussed, or in our previous lesson we discussed in detail about first four methods of collecting primary data: observation method, direct personal investigation, indirect personal investigation, through correspondence. But in today's lesson, we will discuss in detail about the one more method and important method of collecting primary data, that is questionnaire. Then what do you mean by questionnaire? In a layman's perception, questionnaire means a document prepared with set of questions. Whatever questions you want to ask the respondent, just you put them on a paper. That document may be a single page or 2 pages, 3 pages, or good number of pages, can be called as questionnaire in a general perception. But when we look into the theoretical perspective, questionnaires can be discussed as under: eliciting feelings, beliefs, experiences, perceptions, and attitudes is called questionnaire. When you want to extract, elicit, grab feelings, beliefs, experiences, perceptions, and attitude is called questionnaire. Because if you want to know what is the perception of customers in buying vegetables during COVID, when there is a lockdown period and relaxation given for a specific time. During the relaxation period, the feelings of customers while purchasing the vegetables. Then we want to know. If we want to know from a single person straight away, we will ask him and we will observe him. But in the number of people you want to interact and know the feelings are more than 15, 20, 100, large number. Then what to do? You cannot spend much time to interact with the individuals personally. So that you write the questions on the paper, whatever you want to pose, so as to get their feelings, beliefs, experiences, perceptions, and attitude. So those things can be included in your question. If that question is questionnaire, maybe of, as I said, single page or 2 pages is given to a person from whom you want to collect the data, can be called as a questionnaire. This questionnaire is very popular means of collecting the primary data in research, in committees inquiry, and even investigation done by the government agencies too. So that this questionnaire was first invented and used by Sir Francis Galton, a British anthropologist and a renowned statistician in 1838. During that period, he was working with the prominent and high-named society, that is Statistical Society of London. With that reputed organization, he was working and administered the form of questions to extract those things what we discussed now. Hence why it is related and the questionnaire is closely connected with the Sir Francis Galton. There are a few other definitions also about questionnaire. Questionnaire is a set of printed or written questions with a choice of answers. The questions are not maybe open or with choice of answers, devised for the purpose of a survey or statistical study. When a person or an institution or a scholar or a researcher or even a government agency want to make a survey or a statistical study, then from maybe that study on organizations or maybe on individuals. So when they want to conduct this sort of study, either on organizations or on individuals, to collect the data, they pose certain questions. But instead of posing them orally, they can throw the question through a document. That document is called as a questionnaire. Hence why from this definition we can understand that questionnaire is a set of printed or written questions. If it is possible to print on a paper, you print it. Otherwise, on your own handwriting, you can write the question. The another point is a questionnaire is a huge and highly dependable research instrument consisting of a series of questions for the purpose of gathering information from the respondent. But remember, as we just discussed from previous slide, the question should have answers with choice. In a questionnaire, you cannot ask the questions to write in 10 lines, 100 lines, 20 lines, 4 lines, like that. Maybe there some sort of questionnaires, but in general, for a report writing or to collect the information to prepare a thesis, a student study project, or a report, we will prepare a questions with answers in a choice. That is called multiple choice question. Those may be like that. You look at the question, the slide, how questionnaire can be designed. Maybe 4 multiple choices, 3 multiple choices, 5 multiple choices, 2 multiple choices like with that will be there. Then how should be the questionnaire? What are the features or characteristics of a good questionnaire? When you prepare a questionnaire, when you want to ask the question a person to elicit the information for your work, for example, you are reporting or you are preparing a project on satisfaction survey on parents of select schools in Hyderabad. So then what happened? We will take 2 or 3 schools. From each school, 50 or 100 respondents we will take. If it is 3 schools, from each school 100, then 100 into 3 schools means 300 respondents will be there. From that respondents, you want to know their satisfaction levels. How much they were happy with the teaching methods, ambience of the school, governance of the school, and physical facilities of the school, and all other related information. For that, what happened? You have to prepare a questionnaire. You cannot go to each and every person of selected 300. They're located in different places. It's very tough job. So that if you prepare a questionnaire with certain set of maybe of 10, 15, 20, if they are printed on a paper, just by simply sending them by different modes that we will discuss in the coming slides, we will get the answers to your question. So that how you should pose a question. What were the things, postulates, and aspects to be kept in the mind, to be remembered. Here, a good questionnaire should possess following features or characteristics. Number one, it should be concerned with specific and relevant topic. Whatever question you are printing in a questionnaire should be specific and relevant to your topic. For example, when you are making a study on performance of commercial bank during corona period, then should be related to that commercial banks and their performance in terms of performance of the ATMs, accepting the deposit, lending the loans, issuing the demand drafts, and providing other banking services. But instead of that, if you pose a question that how do you feel about the functioning of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, I don't think it is no way connected with our specified study. And do you, what are your feelings about the relationship of Modi and his mother? Is it related question to be posed when you are studying on a performance of banking during the corona period? Certainly no. So that the question should be very specific to your title or your topic and relevant and close to your study. And should be very short. Question should be short, not more than 1 or 2 lines. It is not like 4 to 5 lines, 6 lines. It should be very short question. What is your opinion about functioning of ATM? How frequently you visited banks during corona period? How much time has taken to withdraw money personally from banks? This way, very short questions we should pose. Similarly, the directions and wording should be simple and clear. The researcher or a person who prepared questionnaire is not writing a book on linguistics so that he need not to use bombard words and he need not to show all his excellency over vocabulary. He has to use very simple words and that questionnaire should be very clear also. The way entering into the questions by the respondent should be also very easy. So that direction should be easy. Next, question should be objective. Always the question should be objective and supportable by the multiple choice answers. It's not, expecting a descriptive answer to the questions. Then the respondents may feel more tedious and they may avoid kind of questions. Then embarrassing questions, presuming questions, hypothetical questions should be avoided. What is embarrassing question? That question which can make a kind of confuse among the respondents. And there are certain questions will be like to get the information of their own person. That question, such kind of question should not be included. For example, if you say this, after withdrawing the money, do you take the money straight away to your home or will you go to a bar? Is it a good question? How embarrassing it is to ask a respondent? Suddenly he will hit our head. So that is not good to pose the kind of embarrassing questions. Similarly, should be present in a good order. Question should also maintain order. So the sequence should be maintained. For example, if you want to know about the family details of a person, and if you want to know about their marital status, their children, and etc., the question should be ordered like that. Are you married? If yes or no, yes. Blessed with how many children? 2. This is okay. But if you change the order, are you blessed with children? No. Married? What is this question? So that this is, it is not, it is also embarrassing and missing its sequence and systematic order also. So that should be avoided and should be attractive, neatly printed and clearly arranged. When looking at the questionnaire, respondent should get a, he has to motivate himself to contemplate into the questionnaire and answer very enthusiastically. Such a way you have to arrange the questions, neatly have to type it, and the font you use should be very, with the visibility should be good, richness, and etc. The other important features can also be seen from this slide. It seeks only those information which cannot be obtained by the other sources. In questionnaire, what you have to do is, there are other methods like observation method and personal investigation method, indirect personal investigation method through correspondence methods. If there are any questions left which cannot be forced through those 4 methods, such questions should be included in this questionnaire. And as I said, it should be very short and should, yes, the another important characteristic is it should be enabled for easy tabulation and interpretation. After circulating the questionnaire and collecting back after filling the questionnaire by the respondent, whatever data you have been collecting through questionnaire should have a ability to tabulate easily, simply, and should also make the researcher and a person who is preparing the report interpret very freely without any bias, confuse, and difficulty. The another important characteristics is the question should not either injure, harm, harm the sentiments and feelings of the respondent. Whatever questions you include in your questionnaire, that should not harm, damage, and insult or injure the sentiments, feeling, and personality or their privacy of the respondent. And you should also see that the respondent's work on your question paper should be as minimum as possible, like the ticking, matching, putting ABCD, that's all. You should not expect them to write 2 to 3 lines or 5 lines or 10 lines. Certainly then they will avoid your questionnaire. Then the another important characteristics is don't include mathematical calculation and reasoning in the questionnaires, because the respondents all may not be well versed with that kind of questions which are included, which have included equations and principles and doctrines, etc. So that such kind of comprehensive calculations, mathematical equations, and quantitative reasonings should be avoided. Yes. So Those are the important features of your questionnaire. Then, what is the purpose of preparing questionnaire? Why we have to prepare the questionnaire? For example, when a PhD scholar working for his PhD work thesis, why he has to prepare questionnaire? There are other methods. When the principal of a college want to know about the satisfaction of student of a particular teacher, or college timings, or ambience, or the infrastructure of the college, then in a college there will be about 1,000 to, in certain colleges, 4,000, 5,000 students. Then does he go to all those students? Even if we go, certainly it is not possible. I don't say not possible, but very difficult thing. Almost all the year will go to collect the questionnaire only, and responses from through questionnaire only. At the same time, we cannot force 10 or 15 questions to each student. Then what he has to do? Simply, he prepare a questionnaire in which he will include those questions relating to teaching learning practices, college timetable, facilities provided in the college, library facilities in the college, and water supply, sanitation, regarding other, and expect a few suggestions, more effective functioning of the institution. These questions will be put on the paper, because all those cannot be orally made available to the student. So that the purpose of questionnaire is, see from this slide, to extract the data. The very purpose is that all other methods of the primary data collection, also the purpose is to extract the data, but here is to collect data on various areas from various departments and from different and large number of respondents with diversified respondents, so that to extract the data is the first purpose of the questionnaire. Questionnaire cannot be served for a fun. Even for the fun, but let me say, if I want to know the satisfaction and fun levels of the audience of the just reasonable, so every day for each theater I will go and choose 20 to 30 members, and 10 days around 300 people, and I circulate the questionnaires and I get the data about their fun levels through that movie. Also, so to extract the data, to analyze the data easily, because whenever you collect the data through the questionnaire, everything is readily available in a black and white. Based on that, you can make a tabulation. You divide tables into different parts at your convenience, so that you can make the data analyze easily. Comparison can be made easily. Distinctions can be made easily. So these are the things support as an object purpose of questionnaire, to minimize cost of data collection. To minimize the cost of data collection. See, when you compare the questionnaire with the other methods are little expensive. But the collection of data through questionnaire is comparatively very less expensive, even inexpensive also. When you send a questionnaire through mail, through WhatsApp to the selected people, certainly they don't expect any amount from you. Even you need not to print a hard copy. And if that respondent is at Hyderabad, you are at Karimnagar, you need not to go from Karimnagar to Hyderabad to meet those people. Simply by a small click and attaching a document to mail, you will collect the data. Through sending the through virtual platforms, you will collect the data, so that it can reduce the cost. To help to increase speed, accuracy, and recording. Whenever you want to complete the work in an urgency, when you want to collect the data in a very limited time, so that it is a matter, this is the very important easy method and advisable method to collect the data. And data can be also collected accurately, and the collected data can be stored for evidence in the future. That can be recorded. But if you collect the data by observation or oral interview, you cannot record them unless you record in a tape recorder or a video. But in general, that may not result in. But when you circulate and administer the questionnaire, whatever responses given by the respondents can be very much safely recorded. Then to provide standard first-hand information and helps to save time, money, and energy. Just now I said, if you want to collect the data of about 3 companies in Hyderabad, if you are staying in a remote or a hamlet in a village which is far away to Hyderabad, 200 kilometers away, then the people locating in Hyderabad also scattered to different places. You made a sample of 200 people. One is at LB Nagar, one is at Kukatpalli, one is at Ibrahimpatnam, one is at Uppal, somebody else at other places, Maulali. From where you can collect it, how you can go there? Even to go from Maulali to Ibrahimpatnam takes 2 to 3 hours. You have to spend much money for your conveyance, and you have to spend all your energies. But if you send a questionnaire, it cannot involve all these things. And to reduce or avoid bias of the interviewer or researcher, bias or partiality can be avoided through questionnaire, because the interviewer or the researcher who is intended to collect the data cannot be with the respondent. Only he will pass the question, and the respondents can fill himself and resend the his response to the interviewer or the researcher or the investigator, so that he cannot influence personally the respondent to give the data according to his own desire and need. So this point is very important. The very the crux of the questionnaire, that it can reduce and avoid the bias of the interviewer, researcher, and it also avoid the unnecessary, unprecedented influence and motivation by the principal investigator also. Then, what are the circumstances of usage of questionnaire? At what circumstances you use this questionnaire? Because there are observation methods, personal interviewing method, indirect personal investigation method, and collecting data through correspondence is there. Of course, this method is also there. But when you can apply this method to collect the data, what circumstances can prompt the scholar or investigator or interviewer to elicit the data from the respondent by using the questionnaire? Number one is when resources are limited. When the resources may be monetary resources, ability to spend amount as expenditure, to print the schedule, to visit the people personally, and to go to the places of the various respondents and spend much of his time. And human resources, if the person is alone working on it, he has no other resources, but his sample is set as 500 respondents, it may be very difficult thing and a kind of lethargic job to the principal investigator to collect the data based on the previous 4 methods. At these circumstances, he may go and he may apt this method as very apt and suitable to collect the data. So when his resources like money, time, and manpower, energies are limited, then instead of spending on other 4 methods, we go with the questionnaire. This is the right method to choose. Then when data can be collected through email, certain data can be collected even through emails. You need not to see the respondent personally. You need not to be interacted with the respondents, and you need not to interview the person and extract and gather the information directly himself. If we don't go also, the expected data can come in a positive manner. In such circumstances, it is right and better to depend on the administering the questionnaire. Then when you send through emails, through WhatsApp, through Facebook, and other viral forms, when respondents or sample size is large, for example, if you want to grab or collect the information from 3 or 4 people, you need not to send through email a questionnaire. You may make a phone, you may meet him personally, and you can collect the data. But if your respondents are 400, 500, 1000, 10,000, then it is very tough job to collect the data by meeting them individually, personally, each and every one. Then what to do? The simple way, most suitable circumstances to collect the data by sending the questionnaire. When it is necessary, this is another important, when it is necessary to protect the privacy of the participants. When the participants or respondents who want to provide the information to your question, want to keep their identity secret, then you can, they don't want to disclose themselves to you personally. They don't want to show their, their biographical particular, their physical appearance, etc. Then they may hesitate to you the first format. Then simply to them by making a requisition, send the questionnaire and collect the data. Okay, fine. So the other important slide here it is. While preparing the questionnaire, though we have discussed the important essentials and characteristics of a questionnaire, we should also know that what cares to be taken while preparing the questionnaire. That is, the language that you are using in preparation of a questionnaire should be simple, sweet, and straight to the topic. Avoid the ambiguity. Ambiguity means a kind of confused, not able to decide whether this or that. It is not. That ambiguity and that confuse can be avoided. Avoid the vague words. Vague word means unclear words. For example, in the morning, in the early morning, at the time of getting up, what white color drink you eat? What white color drink you eat? What white color means? Cannot you ask a question like that? Whether you drink tea, coffee, milk, it's easy, But what white color drink you use? So that a kind of anybody has come to your home at that time, a person with hair, whoever come to his home will come with hairs only. Maybe the amount of hairs may be less or more, but it is very vague. We cannot identify a person without hair. We cannot say that nobody is a person with no hair. So that is a vague word you are using. So that should be avoided. Avoid embarrassing questions, as I said. That question should not be forced, which can confuse him, make him feel shy, and feel a kind of frustration. So that question should be avoided. Avoid double negatives. Double negatives. Negativity, negative question, avoiding question of a negative itself is welcome. But if you use more and more negativities, that is also not correct. Avoid leading question means this question leads to another questions. For example, are you married? No. Second question, why? This is none of your job. This is a leading question. So that presuming questions, assuming himself, and hypothetical questions. You cannot imagine yourself by anticipating. You should not pose a question. Then the other things while you prepare, this is a layout of the questionnaire. When you prepare the questionnaire, how to prepare a questionnaire? What should be the layout, design, model? Appearance should be there, no? Cell phone, it has a shape. TV, it has a shape, layout. And earphones, you have a shape. Similarly, how should be the questionnaire? What should be its shape? Yes, it should have these following 6 component things. So the title, first one should be the questionnaire should have a title. What is title? On which you are collecting the data. Means if you are preparing a project, Let me say the title. When I was doing my MBA, I did one project, that is organizational climate impact on workers' productivity. Organizational climate impact on workers' productivity, a case study of Singareni Calories Company Limited, Kottagudem unit. This is the title. Similarly, thesis, when you work for a PhD, for example, human relations management and their impact on workers' satisfaction, a case study of select banks, SBI, Andhra Bank, Canara Bank. Likewise, so this is the title of your work that should be mentioned in the very first of your questionnaire, so that the respondent can understand that, oh, this questionnaire is meant for study, so that no harm or damage can be incurred to him even to answer them. So that should be it. And general introduction. You should also give the second, you should give the after title, you should give some general introduction in 2 to 3 lines. What for you are circulating these questionnaires? Why you are collecting information with this questionnaire? That purpose you should write. For example, if you are doing it is for your MBA project or your student study project, you can appeal it. Dear respondents, I am BCom second year student. I supposed to prepare a student study project. For that, I am collecting data. In this connection, I have prepared a questionnaire to extract the information from the select respondent, so that I am circulating to you. Please accept this questionnaire and provide information and bless me to complete my project. Then confidentiality. You should also say the data supplied by you will be confidential. It will not be disclosed to anybody. Complete privacy can be maintained, and it can be used exclusively for the purpose of academics only. This should be disclosed. And you should also request the respondents to answer the questions honestly, fairly, with a positive intention, not like in a just casual manner. As there are a question, we are answering, not to that manner. Honestly, they have to answer. Then what happens? The reliability and accuracy of the project will also be enhanced. Specific instructions, if you want to give any specific instruction, they should also be mentioned. For example, certain questions needed some instruction. Those can be included. Next, fourth one, you should set questionnaire items. After these three, you arrange the questions in an order. That is questionnaire item. You should print all the questions orderly. What are the questions? 10, 15, 16, 20, whatever questions you should prepare in a sequence. That is called questionnaire item. Then fifth stage, additional information. If you want to provide additional information about you, for example, your previous education or the association you are associated or institution where you are working, where you are studying, and have you done, if you have completed any such kind of projects and research works previously, those information also can be given briefly, simply, without making any confusion. That information should encourage the respondents to undertake the project very interestingly, with a great spirit of energy and enthusiasm. Then finally, at the end, after the last question, that said, I tender my sincere thanks to you for spending your most valuable time to fill this questionnaire and to provide the needy data to me, for which I ever thankful to you. Like way, you have to render the thanking. Then, what are the methods of administering the question? Okay, now you have prepared the questionnaire. Then how can you send that questionnaire to the respondents? Because you are, as I said, you are in Hyderabad. Few of your respondents are in Madras. Some are at, let me say, Bombay. Some are at Warangal. Some are at Delhi, Bangalore. Then can you go to them all? No. Then what to do? You have to choose a method to administer the questionnaires. Those may be personally. If they are very close, near to your place, it is very easy to access them. and meet personally, then you administer or supply the questionnaire personally. If not possible, then you send through register code on to them and make a then you need to collect their addresses. But remember that when you send the questionnaire through post, reverse post cost should also be incurred by you only, because respondents may hesitate, may not be interested, all may not be interested to spend amount to repost your response sheet. So that you're through postage also you can send. By phone, by using WhatsApp, Facebook, and other mode you can send. Or even you can send the document through the email. These are the 4 methods of administering the questionnaire. Then types of questionnaires. Now it is very important, very interesting area. Today, just I can show this slide and stop, and its continuity we will see in the next lesson, most probably tomorrow itself. How many types of questionnaires are there? As far as researchers, statisticians, and other people, either directly or indirectly close to the collection of data, and research agencies, consultancies are concerned, there are 4 types of questionnaires broadly. That is open-ended questionnaire, closed-ended questionnaire, mixed questionnaire, and pictorial questionnaire. These things can be discussed in our next class. Up to that, thank you. We will stop here.